More breaking news, an update. Involuntary manslaughter and felony child abuse charges have been filed against a mother and grandfather in Rutherford County. Just 2 weeks ago, 2 toddlers were killed in a house fire in Bostic. The sheriff's office says those children were home alone at the time of the fire. 7 News' Alessandra Young has all the details.
On the morning of Friday, January 13th, this house here behind me caught fire, killing a 2- and 3-year-old who were trapped inside. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says now the mother and grandfather are facing involuntary manslaughter and felony child abuse charges.
This was really just a horrible tragedy that could have completely been avoided. I mean, these 2 small children left at home alone.
Just before 10 on the morning of January 13th, calls started coming in for a house on fire on Bostic Sunshine Highway. When first responders arrived, Detective Julie Green says there were no vehicles outside.
That's when John Littlejohn, who is the grandfather of the 2 children, came up the driveway and was screaming that the babies are in the residence.
Detective Green says the grandfather, John Littlejohn, said there were 2 small children in the back bedroom.
Grandpa would, on a daily basis, take her to work and leave the 2 children at home. That was just their normal routine schedule from everything during our investigation.
The children were 2 and 3 years old.
They can't fend themselves. They can't take care of themselves. Obviously couldn't get out of a house during the fire.
3-year-old Naya Littlejohn and 2-year-old Nasir Littlejohn were pronounced dead at the Rutherford Hospital.
We actually took the case to the grand jury yesterday. They met and we presented the case to them, and they actually came back with counts of involuntary manslaughter and felony child abuse.
We spoke to John Tay Littlejohn in the days after the fire, before the indictment.
I couldn't even explain or describe the feeling that I got to have when I had been there and got to sit with them and say my final goodbyes, and I got to hold my kids' hands for a good amount of time, and I'm glad I did get that moment to do that. They were everything to me.
There are still a lot of questions left unanswered. Investigators say that the fire started in the living room near the couch, but they're still trying to figure out the cause. They also say they'll know more about the children's deaths after the autopsy results. In Rutherford County, Alessandra Young, 7 News.
Right now, the mother and grandfather have been indicted, but the sheriff's office is working on locating them to make the arrest.